Hi, in the second video, I will look at an example of how to calculate the value of a firm. This video will follow the discussion in section 1.3 of the textbook on page number 12. So here's the example. Suppose that you own a firm and you expect to make a profit of $50 for the next 3 years, after which you hope to sell the firm for another $250. And you believe that the appropriate rate is 10%. Your goal is to compute the value of the firm. I want to specify one thing here when I'm talking about the rate. The textbook calls it the discount rate, but my preference is to call the discount rate the value that you get after calculating the appropriate discount factor. So I will mention that just in a minute. But for now, let's recall that the value of the firm, one way to calculate the value of the firm is to calculate the present value of the expected future profits. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to create a table in which there's going to be 3 periods, 1 year from now, 2 years from now, and 3 years from now. And for each of these periods, I'm putting down the appropriate payment. So we're going to get $50 for the next 3 years, and in addition, in the end of the third year, there's going to be an additional gain of $250 from selling the company. So now we need to calculate the discount rate that we need to apply to each of the upcoming 3 years, and then using the discount rate to calculate the present value. So notice one more time, I'm not calling the 10% the discount rate. I'm going to call the fraction that I will get by applying this 10% to the discount rate. But it's just a difference in notation. That shouldn't be confusing. But let's see how it works out. Basically, if you have to wait for a year, it's like giving up 10% interest on whatever investment you were going to make for a year. So every dollar that you're going to get a year from now should be discounted with a rate equal to 1 over 1 plus the rate available to you. So 1 plus 0.01, which stands for 10%. If you have to wait for 2 years, you have to apply that discount rate twice. And if you do wait 3 years, you have to apply the discount rate 3 more times. So you can see that the discount rate depends on the appropriate interest rate available to you. So 10% or 0.1 in my case, and then the number of years that you have to wait. So 1 year, you raise it to the power 1, 2 years, raise it to the power 2, 3 years, you raise it to the power 3, and so on. Now I'm going to perform this intermediate calculation and actually calculate those discount rates. And so what I'm getting is 91 cents per dollar if you have to wait for a year, 83 cents per dollar if you have to wait for 2 years, and finally 75 cents per dollar if you have to wait for 3 years. And those discount rates I will then multiply by the amount of payments to obtain the present value of the payment that you will get in the future. So for instance, to calculate the present value of the payment that you get a year from now, you need to take the future value of that payment, how much money you're going to get a year from now, multiply it by the appropriate discount rate, and this will be the equivalent in today's dollars. So basically, the present value is just the product of the payment by the appropriate discount rate for each of the future periods. And so if we do the multiplication, $50 a year from now will be worth $45.50 in today's terms. $50 2 years from now will be worth $41.50 in today's terms. And finally, in the third year, you'll be getting $300, but due to discounting, the present value of those $300 will only be $225. Finally, using the definition, the value of the firm is the present value of the expected future profits, so we need to add up all the present values of the future profits that we just calculated. So it's going to be the sum of the 3 terms. 45.5 you get in a year, 41.5 you get 2 years from now, 225 you get 3 years from now, for a total of 312, measured again in present dollars. So the value of the company usually measured in today's dollars. So this is an example of how to calculate the value of a company using the net present value method. Thank you.